Start. I think it started. Okay, you guys. Well, I am Amanda Rose. Getting started a little bit flustered here, but we're here talking about Eat Like a Bear and the weight loss success stories that we're seeing coming out of the community. We are the first platform that I know of, the first community to have 100 almost, and we're counting up to 100 century cases, people who have lost over 100 pounds since finding Eat Like a Bear. And I'm excited to say we had a couple of ladies make announcements today. So congratulations to both Terry and Dina. They are down a whole 100 pack. And each of them lost some of that weight before finding Eat Like a Bear and are continuing to grind all the way down. Because that's what we do best here at Eat Like a Bear is wherever you're getting started, we want to see you get to that finish line, all the way to the finish line. It is my strong sense that that is the key to maintenance. If you can get all the way down to the finish line and just live in the wonder that is the finish line and engage with that all the time, appreciate it, and that really is a key to maintaining your weight loss. I know I certainly lost 30, 40, 50 pounds many times, many times. And had I gone from 280 to 240, for instance, so 280 was my high weight, and had I lost to 240, I mean, that would have been a success in any measure, and my health would have improved. But I'll tell you what, the difference between 240 and 280 is simply not all that life-changing. I mean, there's certainly metrics where it does matter, so it's not that it doesn't matter, but 140 and 280, that difference, you fight for that. You fight for that. I think it's really important for all of us to get down to that point so we can really live it in ourselves and just see what I mean. And so that is what we're doing here, is trying to get people to the finish line, however it is that you define that. And so yesterday I challenged you all to get out and to live in your big goal and report back to us. So we're going to do that, but I also promised you a story. And so I'm going to tell you a story about how someone found our group on day one. This is Shelley Foudry. And she is one of our Century Club members. In fact, she is the first member of the Eat Like a Bear Century Club, and she actually joined on day one of the community. And so I'll back up a little bit. This community started on July 9th, 8th. See, I should remember. I should have written it down. 2018. And yesterday I told a story about the beginnings of the story about the person who was supposed to lead this weight loss revolution here in Central California, because it certainly wasn't going to be me, because I spent many decades thinking that the weight loss industry is stupid, which, frankly, I, sort of still think that, just gonna say. And so the idea that I would get involved, why would I get involved in something stupid, right? And especially I was out living my life. I was living the life I had set as a goal to get out and hike with my sons. And so I was not only hiking, but I was really engaged in making a bunch of videos about foraging. And foraging is when you go out and hunt in a forest like here. So we were in the giant Sequoia National Monument, and you go out and you find nature's garden. So you find the edible plants that are out there, you collect a little harvest, you bring them home. So for instance, this time of year, there's a lot of greens. So I could go out and collect a lot of wild greens and make my own soup. And that's what foragers do. And so I was working on making a YouTube channel on herbs and foraging, which, I can't imagine there's anything cooler than that. So that is what I was doing. That was my complete intent, except that I also felt very strongly that more people should know how well this weight loss approach worked. And I just didn't imagine it would be me telling them, because I had plans for someone else to tell them. And that was my primary care doctor. And so yesterday's story was about me going into him and saying, hey, look, all your patients need to do this thing. And he really was like, you know what, no one's going to do this thing. And so I walked out of there, kind of, oh gosh, what? And I challenged myself rather than the natural response, which is, what's wrong with you? Come on, doctor, don't you get it? Right? So that's the natural response. And I do admit I did feel that in here, but I kind of checked myself. I had a mature moment. And sometimes those moments come. This was one of them, because what I told myself was, he's a smart guy and he knows a lot about weight loss. And he, so this is a man who's 6'5", huge, huge, huge. So I'm 5'2". I mean, he towers like giant compared to me. And so I'm guessing his weight, maybe 450. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was even 550. I mean, he was very overweight, but I can't even guess weights at that size because I'm so different in size. But he had a family who struggled with weight loss. And so he understood so much of it. He struggled with it. He had a deep heart for the problem. And he had a lot of charisma, and just he was very caring, and was already trying to provide leadership for this difficult topic. And so like, he was a natural, but he needed to do it and he needed to get started. And obviously the way I spoke to him about it that day in the office was not effective. But I decided I'm going to go out and I'm going to really engage more with people about this topic, because I'm going back and I'm going to convince them to do it. Okay. And so that story continues, and you'll hear all of the developments of that story over the next few days. But what I then did, so I was out and about and talking to people and learning myself what kinds of the reactions people were having to the diet, what their objections were. And so, the big one is always aren't you starving yourself, or don't you get hungry all the time? And so when I spoke to people about it, I would always say something about that point so that they just wouldn't knee jerk on it, and that they would hopefully stay engaged and listen to it. And so I was learning how to speak about weight loss with one goal: to get one person to do it, who would then lead all of this. Because, I was busy, I was foraging, I was doing the herb thing. And so, so I actually published a video, Eat Like a Bear, on 3 years ago this coming Sunday. And there's a live video where I talk about how nervous I was to publish the before pictures. I'd forgotten that point, but yeah, I was quite nervous. And so I published the video, Eat Like a Bear, in response to the main question, aren't you starving yourself? And, my point was, well, you know what? Not eating for 23 hours isn't exactly unusual in the world of mammals. And take the bear, for instance, who actually sleeps away all of this weight over many months in hibernation. And maybe we should all eat like a bear. And perhaps I should have eaten like a bear many decades ago. And so you can find that video on Facebook, but that's actually what got some people started. So, because then I just kind of stepped away from the video thing. And I was really deeply focused on living in the goals and, kind of fulfilling my dream of I've gotten to this weight, and now I'm going to get out and hike. Now I'm going to do it. And so I found a few pictures from that time my family and I, we were so lucky to be able to travel through the Pacific Northwest from here in California. And I found this photo for you guys. This is actually on Instagram. And this is us in the redwood forest on the California coast. This is in Northern California. So we posted this, all of us happy. And the little tree canopy above us is actually the redwoods. And so this was one of the first legs of our trip through the Pacific Northwest. And as we traveled, I posted some other photos too, mainly of the kids, and I posted them on Instagram. And my friend Heather said, "Come on, Amanda, you're hiking. This is your celebration," because I called it the century hike. I was going to hike 100 miles in celebration of losing 100 pounds that I'd lost. And so this was the beginning of it. And Heather said, "You're out on your century hike. We can't even see you." Okay, so we see you here. But she said, I was posting photos of my kids, of course, because that's what you do, right? And so then, like, okay, I'll post a photo. So I posted a photo, this one. And so you guys, I mean, look at us, how happy. But of course, Heather said, "Amanda, you're hiding behind your child." Of course I was, because that's what we're used to doing. And so Then I found this photo, which was one of the first sort of, oh, you can see me in it. And this is in on one of our hikes in Washington. And on that trip, so that was such a trip. And I remember we went on this hike. It was really rigorous for me. And we had a view of Mount Rainier from that hike. And I remember just crying. As I was able to get up there. I mean, really, it was crazy. What you can do, and at this point I weighed about 160, maybe 155 by here, 150, somewhere in there. Because at this point I was losing on these hikes. Because you go out and you hike, you can lose more weight. So that's how I lost my last 20. But it really blew me away because it had just been 8 months, 9 months before that I was on the couch. And you guys have seen that photo. Okay. So this was me. I mean, that's a big change in your life in 9 months in what you can do. And I mean, it can blow your mind, and it's important then when you reach these stages to get out and do it and to live it and to, take it in and kind of appreciate it. Not kind of, okay, really deeply appreciate it. That's a key to maintenance, okay? It really is. And so I was out on the century hike, ready to come back and work on that empire of foraging videos. Because just after this trip, we got back in early June. And then just a few weeks later, I went to a conference called VidCon, which is a very big YouTubers conference, mainly, but anyone doing online videos. And I was going to learn more about YouTube and just the whole industry and all that. And I was really focused again on my foraging empire. And as I mentioned yesterday, I actually had a contact with a producer from a network that was interested in doing a foraging show. And so a lot of things were lining up and coming together, because I'm really perfectly positioned for a foraging show, by the way. I mean, I should show you some of this here, but this house is in a national monument. And so we have forest all over, and foraging is all about going out into nature and finding edible foods. That's what foraging is. And so it's super cool. You're out in the wilderness, engaged. It's fabulous. And I know a lot about herbs, a lot. And so it was perfectly positioned for my empire, perfectly positioned. And so that was late June of 2018. And I have all these video clips. I came back from VidCon all excited and ready and working on the empire. And so all these clips of like dandelions and whatever else. And so that was then late June. And it was July, it was a Friday. So whatever I should get the exact date, but July 5th, 5th, a Friday. So again, I had really neglected the whole Facebook thing for all those weeks since before the Pacific Northwest trip. And I came back, and it was a Friday. So it was after VidCon. I'm doing my thing, my foraging thing. And it's one morning, I'm in the kitchen. And I'd been doing live videos, but I'd been doing them not here because we didn't have a good enough internet for it. And that morning I did a speed test on our own internet here and realized, wow, that's crazy, but we have enough internet to do a live video. Well, it was the morning, but I was working on my meal and I thought, oh, I'll try it. And so I popped onto Facebook, and it had been like 2 months since I'd been on Facebook. And I popped onto Facebook and did one of these, what am I eating videos? Like, hey, look at what I'm eating today. And people showed up, including some people who had lost weight since that Eat Like a Bear video. So there I was, a little bit surprised so I'd done that Eat Like a Bear video and some live videos on Facebook. And I just looked back at this video today. So this is the one from just before starting the group. And so there's a lady named Maria who said, your story inspired me 6 weeks ago, so I started this, and today I'm down 30 pounds. Thank you. And then Anita Edwards, who's still like running around in the group. And I told her about a month or two ago, I said, did you know you were one of these two ladies? Because Anita said, I've lost almost 50 pounds. I feel so much better. And so this was just a random video, and I didn't know Anita or Maria before that at all. I mean, at all. And I was kind of stunned that someone in internet land would just kind of find a video and then it would have that impact from one video. I mean, really? That's not really super obvious. It did surprise me. Yeah, and Becky said, yes, I'm 3 months in and this works. And I'm a little bit emotional because I found a comment on that exact video that I had missed before. And so, you guys ready? I think, well, let's go backward. Will this show forwards or backwards? We're about to find out. But here's the comment. Okay. And so Shelley Foundry says, scared to start, but scared not to. Makes sense? And so I directed Shelley to the group. And Shelley joined our group on its first day, which I think was July 9th. It was a Monday. And so Shelley was a member on day one of the group and joined at, this is Shelley as she joined, and this is Shelley. And Shelley was the first person officially who lost 100 pounds, because we know we have someone who was lurking who lost a little bit before then, but because she's lurking, Shelley's number one on the list. And so Shelley also was in that video that Friday. And again, I was in the middle of really building something else, and all this took me by surprise. And that same day, this is in the book, this is in the prologue, I think. No, it's in the, there's a story at the end of the Ridiculously Big Salad book, which is this, okay, product promotion. Okay, there's a story about the origin of this community here, and I talk about this weekend, like this Friday to Monday situation, and it's in this book as well. Because this, where Shelley made this comment, this was on a Friday, and the group hadn't started, and the group would start Monday. We just didn't know it yet, because what happened in those days is that very day, that Friday, something really bad was happening around here. We thought someone had been killed, actually. So it's very emotional. And so I had the live video in the morning that I think someone's killed. And so I was trying to find out if he was killed. Like, this is a local little community. And I thought, maybe if I just drive out there, I'll get the information. And so I was actually out driving, and that's why I was out driving. And I had satisfied myself that I thought he was okay, and the situation had another explanation. And so as I was driving home, I was about just a half mile from my home on the main highway. The main highway, don't want to give you the wrong picture, it is a little rural road. Okay, so it's a 2-lane highway, you know, 1 lane each side. And there are these people on this blind curve, really, just walking in the middle of the road. Like, you shouldn't walk there like that. I felt like, okay, these are not locals. And they were young people, so 25, you know, I don't know, like when you get to be 50 something, it's hard to age people exactly. But anyway, some kind of millennial hipster types, like just walking on the road. And I slowed down because I needed to, so I wouldn't hit them. And I rolled the window down and I said, you guys okay? Do you need some help? And they were just really happy-go-lucky and just kind of bursting with energy. And they said, we're just looking for a great sunset view. And I said, wow, well, okay. And they started asking about hikes. And I said, well, actually, my son has made these brochures on hikes, so let me get some and bring them to you. But they had so much good energy, and it was just one of those hard days. And I said to them, I said, so you're looking for a sunset? And okay, I'm going to tell you guys right now, hope you're not offended. This house that I'm sitting in has a very colorful history, very, very colorful history. So it was a brothel in the 20s. Okay, and so brothel in the 20s. And it's no longer open for business. Okay, you guys, so stop thinking about that. It's not open for business, but I absolutely use it for notoriety anytime that I can. And when the hipster millennials are there and you're 50 and they're 25, you can totally work it. And I said to them, would you like to watch a sunset from a brothel? And of course, they're all over that. And so they came up to the house. And we just really connected. And we ended up spending most of the weekend together. And I was again deep in this, like, had engaged on this live video, but was really deep in building my foraging empire. And I really didn't know what to do. And so we spent Friday evening together, and then I curated a hike for them on Saturday. And then we spent most of Sunday together. And little things were coming up through the whole process, but really we were talking about kind of life in general. But as the weekend progressed, little things about videos were coming out. And I know they started really wondering how on earth, what was I doing that this random old woman in the middle of nowhere is talking about videos. And so they really ended up directly asking me, what do you do? What do you do? And because as it turns out, they were all in the video world, connected in like Southern California types of video production types of things. And they asked me, it was sometime Sunday around noon, what do you do? And I really felt like I was just like swirling inside. What do I do? Because so I told them, I'm building this foraging empire and have these opportunities. And it's such an obvious thing to do. But I had this experience Friday morning, and and that was the first time I told them, oh, by the way, I've lost 120 pounds. And they just, and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I did this video and people started losing weight and saying to me, sending me messages like, I have more hope than I've had. And what do I do? And like there were four of them here. And their jaws just dropped. Their jaws dropped at the point that I'd lost all that weight because it hadn't come up. And that I was at that critical decision point. And then one of the women, there were two men and two women, and one of them she just paused and she said, Amanda, you have to do this. And so you have to do this was, I was saying, do I start a group? What do I do? And she said, you have to do this. And so it was the next morning that Shelly joined the group. And so she was one of, bear number one. It became century bear number one. And so that was July 9th of 2018. And about a week later, I went back to the doctor, and I went in, and I was ready. And I went in, my ruse for going in and like getting in to see him, because I didn't have an appointment, but I saw his nurse. And then they let me go, and he was taking patients in his office. So he was sitting there behind his desk like he had been back in April, not in an exam room, but behind his desk. And I went in and said, hey, started this group. And we have all these local people starting to join the group, and they're going to need a doctor. So clearly I need to talk to you about what I'm telling them, because I'm referring them to you. And again, my big plan is he's going to, be like, bear number 23 at that point. And so I went in and really had such a great conversation with him. He was so animated and engaged over it, because by then, I was experienced with talking to people about the diet. And we just really, I knew I only probably would have a couple of minutes with him normally, but we were so actively engaged that it was about 10 minutes in, and I realized that a nurse would come in at any minute and interrupt us, and I hadn't finished. I hadn't closed, as the marketers say, you need to close on the sale. I needed to close because I didn't want to leave his office without him getting started. And so, but we were having such a good conversation. But then I said to him, I know you're busy and I don't want to keep you and you have other patients, but you have so many patients. Okay, so again, remember my goal is he starts it, right? But the ruse is it's about his patients and all the ones I'm referring to him, which was the case. And but my goal is that he starts it. And so I said to him, I do, I don't want to keep you, and so I will let you go. But you have so many patients who have all of these skills, all of these dieting skills, people who've done so many diets, people who know carbs and they know calories, just like me, just like you. I mean, the calories, the carbs, all this. Just they're just like us. They're just like you. They could start in the next 3 seconds. And I just looked, right in the eyes. They could start now. And we just really like shook hands, really connected. And I walked out of there and I knew he was started. I knew it. I could feel it. I could see it. And so I walked out of there just really excited and just pleased he was getting started. And so this would be the beginning of something. And the group was going. I was posting videos that were sort of like the marriage of weight loss and foraging. And I got on a plane with my kids and we flew to Pennsylvania, and we got my brother-in-law's hand-me-down Ford, and we would then take a trip across the country. And this has gone on for so long. This is such a long story. I apologize. And I will take more of this up tomorrow, and you'll hear about how the postcard from Yellowstone came out of that trip, and more about the doctor over the next couple of days. But you guys were charged with living in your goal in the last day. And so I want to hear some of the things. So ask me your questions, but I also want to hear your reports on what kinds of things you've done to help you engage in your goal in whatever way that you've been able to do that, because there's always a way. There's always a way. I don't care how limited we are. There's always some way to be engaged in it, always. And so I'm scrolling up, and so yeah, so comments about one of our community members and day one. So I can't even believe this, finding this comment from Shelley. Okay. Just focus on the comments. Okay. And Paulina, I'm reflecting, I've lost around 60 pounds. I need to keep it in the forefront of my mind. Absolutely. And use that as your fuel. Because I'll tell you, if Paulina, if you're not to the finish line, wherever that is, because really, we don't have to be skinny, right? We just have to live the life that we want to live. I mean, I'm not a skinny person, compared to where I was. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I'm not exactly Hollywood here, right? So clearly, if I wanted to really super trim up and be a size 2, I suppose I would make that a focus and I would do it. I've got the tools to do it, but I don't care enough is the real core thing. And so for me, I'm where I want to be. That's good. And so we all need to find that place, wherever that is. And I think a lot of it does come down to like what we can physically do, ends up being a key thing. So Paulina, okay, Google Tongariro Crossing. So where is that, Paulina? So yeah, we need to maybe go there. Um, so, um, Anna Sewell commenting about the brothel, because yes, I've been known for broth, like bone broth. So Anna likes to comment about the broth. So, okay. And Paulina is in New Zealand. So are we doing a meetup in New Zealand to do this crossing? Is that what I'm hearing, Paulina? Because I like it. I think we need to do that. I think we need to do that. My goodness. I'm trying to look at the comments again. So there is Dwayne, of course. So Dwayne Britton in the group, is his handle here on YouTube is Carnivore Dwayne, and that's also Dwayne's handle, I think, on Instagram and maybe TikTok or variations of that. So you can find Dwayne. And so let's see. And hey, so, and from England as well. And okay, so Jules is asking about supplements. And so Jules, yeah, so let me say about supplements. First of all, oh, you've asked me one of my favorite questions. First of all, let me be really super clear about weight loss accelerator products. If this is a weight loss accelerator product, here, let me do it this way. Just to give you a good visual. So let's say this is a weight loss accelerator product. Okay. So yeah, I don't care what it is. I don't care what the peer review research on it says. Oh, it's going to help you lose an extra 2 pounds this month. And you're like, I really want to lose that extra 2 pounds this month. Okay. Okay. So weight loss accelerators. And the reason is actually really important for this like mental transformation we're going through. It's really super critical. It's a lesson that it seems so obvious. It seems stupid that we have to learn it. That like, oh, how is it that we think we're smart people or whatever, and we didn't learn this lesson along somewhere? But the solution to your weight loss is you. It's not a product, and it really muddies the water to rely on products. It really does. And I know we want extra and we want extra help, but I strongly encourage everyone to just go out and do it without any of that. There will never be any kind of confusion up here about what drove your weight loss success. It's really important for you to learn that you did it. You did it. Weight loss accelerator products stand in the way of that core message. The marketing of weight loss products stand in the way of that core message. All of the weight loss industry and its marketing stands in the way of that core message. We all need to learn that message if we are going to be able to live the life we want to live. So in terms of supplements for weight loss, nope, absolutely nope, because they completely interfere with that. And any kind of like crutch-like tool for weight loss, why do it? No, buckle in and make the food choices that you need to make and work on like the psychological tools that you're going to need to get you through this, to get you to living your best and being able to for the rest of your life, being able to maintain that. But in terms of, maybe, like electrolytes, providing, minerals for yourself, or even like a general multivitamin or something, absolutely. I would just look at mainly the carbs in them, because some of those, like some of the liquid vitamins in particular, will have added, sweeteners or something. So just check. I would just look around for like some low carb options for that. And I would just take them with your food. You're going to digest them best then. And so if you typically used to take them in the morning, but you're having one meal and it's in the afternoon, that's when I would take the vitamins, because they will digest better when you're digesting your food. So yeah, all the rest of them, nope. I don't care what they are. I don't care how many MLM reps are here convincing me otherwise and all the research about it. Guess what? How many weight loss cases do those MLMs have? And how much money is falling out of your pocket in the process? And again, it's here. Alistair, it is this that's the key. This is the key. Those products stand in the way. Yeah. So, and so she really, yeah, may have been asking about daily supplements, and absolutely find something. It's like just insurance or something. The model of my meal model is very nutritionally dense and balanced. I don't worry if I don't always have supplements. I kind of go through cycles of taking them. Right now, there's a lot going on in my life, and so I've been trying to remember to take them just to kind of stay in front of it and to, not get as tired and stuff like that. But are they really necessary? If you're eating something like this, not really. The electrolytes, probably, but generally like a multi, yeah, they'll help. But I wouldn't worry about it. Like I wouldn't say like, oh, that's I can't start until I have that thing. No, you just get started, get going. Yeah. So let's see. Susan is down 1 more pound, 3 to go to 100.
Oh, wow.
And so we're all gonna wait for Susan to make her big announcement.
Wait, Mom?
This is very exciting. Yes.
Hey, Mom,
So,
how many centuries do we have?
well, we have. I need to count the total because we're in the low 90s for the people who've lost 100 since finding us. But we have, I don't know how many who've lost from a combination of programs. So I need to get a count for both of those. Let's see. And yeah, Dwayne says the best weight loss product is reprogramming our brains. Truth bomb right there from Dwayne Britton. All right. So, okay, this is very exciting, Susan. So you're going to have to come on here every day. Like, I'm down another 0.3 or whatever. Susan's out like jogging at the park. Oh, wait, but am I gaining some muscle? Am I losing some fat? Where am I going to end up on the scale? So, and hey, Pam Mackey is here. Awesome, you guys. Awesome. And so, yeah. Okay. So the question is keto/low carb isn't calorie counting. How did you come to the 1,000 to 1,200 calories? That's such a great question, because the first story in this series is like me and my mindset in 2017 and what I was doing. Because what I didn't do, hey, Rosemary, you guys representing the Century Club around here. Hello, Rosemary from Northern Washington State. So how did I land in that calorie range? And really even this whole model and like this meal model here. So because I don't know how super clear I made this the other day in that kind of 2017 story about what I was doing and the approach that I was taking. But a big theme in that was that what I was doing was proving to myself that I had done everything I could do to lose weight. And I had tried lots of different types of models of eating. I definitely knew like the low carb area very well, and had done, Atkins-like things over the years, had done different types of calorie models. And so what I was doing was bringing all that information together, okay, not so that I could, write a book or something, right? I mean, because God, who knew about this? I'll tell you what, this photo set here, to me, I'm trying to find the Yellowstone photos, but anyway, the Yellowstone photos, which a lot of you guys have seen. Oh, I'll tell you a photo that would have completely blown my mind, and I would have just like, what? This can't be real, is this one, okay? So, yeah, what? So, the point is, some people maybe start the weight loss thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna document all of it so that I can become a big weight loss success case and, start a community or something. And that's not how it was at all. I certainly never expected any of this. And so what I was doing then was I wasn't trying to like, I'm going to adopt the keto diet. I'm going to go learn I didn't even know like who's Dr. Eric Berg or Jason Fung. I didn't know any of those guys. And I wasn't paying attention because all of that stuff was stupid because I tried all kinds of things. And what I was doing at that time was proving to myself that I had done everything that I could do to lose the weight. And so I really went deep in my own mind, and really worked on my own concerns and objections. And one thing I did know is that the calorie model, it's not wrong, but it's not complete. And so I knew that if I could keep the calories in check, that I would lose faster. And I actually, there's a video somewhere where I talk about how I did play around with different calorie levels. And because I thought, well, if 1,200 calories is working this well, how about 500? And so I played around with some of that. And the 500 didn't work well for me, mainly because, boy, it's terrible to eat only 500 calories a day. Now, maybe it's not for everybody, and someone could maybe lose weight a lot quicker that way. I don't know. We haven't had someone in the group really try that and come back and report great success with it. But we have a lot of people in this 1,000 to 1,200 calorie range having great success. So why is that? Probably a combination of things. One of them being that you can actually get to tomorrow on 1,200 a little easier than 500. And so I was just bringing together a lot of different information. And I can tell you for sure, the last thing I was concerned about in the fall of 2017 was whether, is this keto? I mean, is this keto? Who cares if something is keto? I mean, really? Is this Atkins acceptable? Is this like, oh, is this really right in that like cut point for like considered to be low fat or high fat or high protein, low fat? I don't care. I mean, deeply. Guess what I care about? I wanted to get out and hike. I didn't give a flip if someone else considered something to be keto. And so I was just creating this meal and lost weight. It fits within like the range of ketogenic eating. It's just very distinct in that. And so when people actually try to engage me in a discussion about if mine is keto, I don't actually really spend a lot of time on that because I deeply don't actually care. It does fit like that boundary, that spectrum. So if it's important to somebody that it's keto, I'm like, yeah, it's in that spectrum. So what? So that's kind of where I am with it. But yeah, the keto world, a big part of the people who are gaining weight in it are overeating, just plain and simple. And the message in keto of you can like eat anything as long as it's keto, that might work for some people because some people are more naturally moderate than people like me. Like, I can eat anything as long as it's keto? Well, step back and let's just test that right here. I mean, I would weigh 1,000 pounds. That's the truth. Because you guys, there's keto ice cream, is there not? I mean, Alistair, how much keto ice cream could you eat?
Not sure. I haven't had to.
Let's be honest.
I don't know. I don't know how good it is.
Oh, let's say it's good because there's some really pretty. I mean, because it's cream. It's cream, and say it's a sweetener like stevia.
Probably quite a bit.
Yeah, I think like measuring in the gallons for me. If I'm on your team, we're eating gallons. Okay, I'm just telling you. So the point is that all these things can be taken too far. We got to find our boundaries, and we're always going to convince ourselves that we should eat that keto ice cream, and making it keto is one of the ways we convince ourselves to eat more of it. Yeah, I'm going to scroll up and look at some comments. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, Dee, what is so lovely is that we relate to being overweight for years, up and down, tried everything. Oh, absolutely. You guys, we're finding our people here. That's what we're doing at Eat Like a Bear. And it's like, the thing with the doctor and saying to him, you have patients who have all these skills and just bring them to bear. It's the Yellowstone message. Hit that one more time. Bring them to bear. Yes, bring him to bear.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Sue. So I'm diving into a 48-hour fast. This will be so hard. Need it badly. Staying busy. Yeah, stay focused. That's awesome, Sue. Um, and you know what? It is sometimes, so an extended fast, you guys, if you're new, is just maybe taking in. So Sue is doing a 48-hour fast, which means Sue is probably taking one day off of eating. And so for one day, she'll be having maybe just water and electrolytes in that water. If it were me, I'd be having coffee too. So people do that to kind of do a reset. Your body gets used to eating when you've trained it to eat. So maybe you're training it to eat every day at noon or from noon to 3, and then sometimes just like getting a little shock, those hunger hormones come down and you start to end up less hungry because you didn't eat for one day. It's kind of crazy, kind of mind blowing, because you're kind of breaking that habit, just like a lot of habits. Kind of think of it that way. So Sue, you can do it. Stay focused. Stay focused. And Jackie says, the problem with keto ice cream is it melts, so no matter how full of lettuce I am, there's still room for a lot of ice cream between the leaves. So much room. So much room. Nope. Don't even get me started. Yeah. Um, let's see. But you guys, so you now need to report to me. What did you do? And who's right now watching from the bathtub? We need to know these important details. But what did you guys do in the last day to get out and engage in your goal? And I'm so excited that Susan's here reporting because we are watching. We need to get who are the other so close to the century mark? We need to get them on here reporting in every day. We need to we're going to send to Sue's house, we're going to send the scale verification committee and have some team verify, check every day. Oh no, that's just 0.7. Or we could have a dedicated Instagram feed to whoever's in the last 10 pounds and watch as the scales move. That would be great. Like the live cam on somebody's scale. All day it's just the boring scale sitting there by itself, and then we all go at 8 a.m. Did she get on the scale? So, all right, Diane, I'm so excited. I'm new to this. I'm a lazy eater, so this is perfect for me. I'm on day 3 and my body feels wonderful. That's great, Diane. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? It's really freeing once you have to get into the groove of it. It's definitely different. And, I was kind of freaked out about the whole 1 meal a day thing before I got started and really got into a groove. But I have to say, it's really great to just have that's the time of day where I'm doing the eating. And then I have all this time when I'm not. And that's when I'm doing the other things. It's a mental shift, but it really has been life-changingly positive for me in so many ways. And so obviously because I can do things physically that I was not able to do is the kind of big obvious one. But I have to say it's very freeing once you mentally really can separate yourself. And it's not to say, so it's easy or you don't ever have to stay somewhat diligent. You really do. But learning how to do it, getting the skills to be diligent about it is just so life-changing and has given me so much more than, I am willing and happy in a way to give up the keto ice cream, given the problem that it causes me. I will give that up for the rest of what I have gotten. All day long. It's not a contest. It's not a contest. Would I love to be able to get away with that? Yeah, I keep saying, I would love to have no consequences for anything. And so, okay, hey, Jackie is getting dressed as she watches, okay, and has headed out on her bike. That's awesome. Out cycling. And Anna just got kettlebells for Mother's Day. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, and Susan, life-changing skills. You guys, so I'm just looking at comments still. You guys, this is great. And Pam says real food is all you need. Yeah, yeah, isn't it? Isn't that something? So, and like the doctors are like, I told you this. I told you. Um, but I feel like there's a lot they also maybe didn't get and didn't tell me because I was trying to listen. I was trying to listen. But see, what happened was I was in a psychology in 2017, Steve, the story from 2 days ago, where I was in my own head, countering my own second guesses and my own objections to various things. That's what I was doing. That's what each of us needs to do to work it out, to work it out. So, Dwayne, I needed to find you on today. I had very close, a close young friend die yesterday. Another. I'm sorry, Dwayne. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here too, Dwayne. I'm glad. And so and I appreciate you in our community, Dwayne, because you're awesome. And you guys, so I'm going to show you because I've got it right here. Let me see if I can find Dwayne's picture in the book. So Dwayne, just gonna say, for somebody who's the big salad person, Dwayne's story. Look at this. Okay, there's Dwayne. No lettuce for Dwayne. All right, because Dwayne's like, I'm gonna hang out with all these women eating the salads, and I'm gonna not eat salads. Dwayne is gonna be Dwayne. Good. I love it because we all should be who we are and find our way. And Dwayne doesn't have to eat lettuce because all the popular girls are eating lettuce. See, we call ourselves popular. Maybe people will start calling us popular. So,
I don't know, but okay.
Anyway, he's not doing it because the cool kids are doing it because he's working it out. He's working out his own path. And so Dwayne, that's what Dwayne's doing, and that's what we each need to do. And far be it for me to, think Dwayne should eat lettuce if he's really meeting his goals, however it is he's choosing to meet his goals. My cousin Stephen, in a similar vein, he's in the book too, and was one of the original bears before the community even existed. And he eats a meal I would never eat. And so if someone came to me with Stephen's meal and said, well, this is it, this is the key, you have to do this, I'm not sure I would have done it. And so, but Stephen crafted his meal from my framework, his meal that I would never eat. It's like 2 chicken breasts and cottage cheese, something else, every day. Oh my gosh. But it works for him. So why would I be concerned? I mean, he's doing better than I've seen him in just decades. And so that's working for him. And I'm really proud of him, and that he's found his groove. And so he wasn't worried either about like copying exactly something I was eating. He was finding his way. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, gosh, and Z Kid, you've lost 100 pounds and you have 80 more to go. Just think, that is so great. And the difference, so your high weight, it was maybe somewhere over 300. And so you're down. So what was that? So you're down that. Wow. What a major. So stay focused. Don't, it's so much easier, I think, to gain back when you're in that kind of middle point. And the reason is, again, physically, it is not the same level of life change as when you get to the finish line. It's really important to stay focused. So, wow, that is so great. Don't lose your momentum. Whatever you do, that is your absolute absolute best asset. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. Don't reward yourself with like, I'll take a little break because I deserve it. Look, we always deserve everything that we can convince ourselves. But what you really deserve is to lose those extra pounds. That's what you really deserve, because you deserve to get down and live in it. And I know it sounds obvious, like, oh yeah, I'll be able to do all these things. And people will tell you, and oh yeah, 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 of course. And you guys living in it, experiencing it, and just taking it in. That's what you need to get there. Get there. And as you get closer and closer, just keep clinging to it. And that's your key. That's your key. So don't take a break. Don't take a break. The cheat days thing comes up in the group all the time. Like, why would you take a cheat day? Don't take it ever. Mm-mm. The psychology content in the course, um, if you go through that, you'll see. I mean, there's so much in there that can be applied to cheat days. Just a bad idea. Just go, grind, grind, grind. Do it. It's always a grind. It's a much harder grind if you start and stop. It's going to take you years, and you may never get there. You may never get there because of the starting and stopping, the psychology of it all. So go, 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 go. That is so exciting. 180 pounds. Whoa, what an absolute difference, fundamental life change that is. That's amazing. And I think it's really important. We have so many people in the community who've started from high starting weights, and it takes, and I feel like I started from kind of low starting weight for our community. And I think it's part of our fire, because it really takes having experienced it. It's almost trite, like people talk about, like they know about it, and they don't. They don't. And I certainly know I don't know what it's like to live at 400 pounds. I mean, my high weight was 280. How could I know that? So anyway, wow, 180 is such a vision. That is great. That is great. Gail, I lost momentum at the beginning of the pandemic. Now I'm back. Yes, good. Excellent. And Gail says, I wished I had pushed through. You know what? And that's the thing. Do we ever look back and say, boy, that was great that I cheated and went on a bender or whatever, right? Never, ever, never gonna say that. So the key is recognizing, like, when you're kind of vulnerable to those things, and setting up structures to combat it, and just being more mindful of that dynamic and that decision, that this, like, I really look at my choices. I structure them in a different way. This is the stuff of the psychology course. If you're in there, my social choice background, I'm a political scientist, and the research that I used for my dissertation comes out of a research background called social choice theory, which comes from economics and is really about strategic behavior, but also strategic structuring of choices in some cases. And so I'm a natural at this. Apparently, and one of the things I look at is, like, in that choice, what really is the choice? Because we tend, like, part of ourselves is going to always say, like, well, the donut, so what? It's just one little bite, right? The one little bite. But what we know is what that bite leads to. And so I really look at that and say, like, the little tape that plays in my head at those moments is literally, is this the moment it all falls apart? You guys know what I'm talking about. So it's really thinking about your choices more strategically. So let's see. My change came as Amanda pointed at the camera and said, it's down to you. Yes, it's down to you. You guys, go do it. Go do it. When did I say that? When did I say that? But yeah, no, how did we miss that? Right? Guys, I have a PhD. A lot of school, too much school, and I missed it. All right. So, okay. Okay, thank you. I'm reading some comments. And Okay, so Z started at 320. Yeah. And so looking for 180. And so that, yeah, so down to 140. That, how amazing that's going to be. And it's a struggle now. So what happens, something to know about when you start at the higher weights is that your maintenance calories are actually quite a bit higher at those higher weights. And the reason is really obvious once you think about it. It takes a lot of extra energy to lug around 320 pounds. And so if you're lugging around 180 extra pounds every minute of the day, you are burning more calories. You really are. Duh, right? And so when you've then lost 100 pounds, just think about that. Like any of us could carry around, if we could manage it, like 100-pound sack of something, or a pack, like a backpack. I'd hate to pack with 100 pounds. Think about how many more calories you'd burn. And so once you're already down the 100, you're burning less, a good bit less every day, which means that in terms of the calorie part of this, it is going to slow. If you eat, say you ate the same 1,000-calorie meal the whole time through the whole weight loss phase, you will burn more at the upper end because your maintenance calories are higher. Then you get down, say you're down to 200, and you're going to say, well, it slowed, and it slowed because you're not lugging all those pounds around, and those pounds took calories to lug. Well, good, you got rid of them. That's good, okay? But you can't eat as much to lose as fast because your calorie level requirements are different. So that's something that happens in that dynamic. And it's easy to say, oh, no, I stalled. But look at what you're doing and consider that the rapid weight loss was partly because of the high starting weight. Good. I mean, that's good. Like, that's not, so, because starting at those weights, I'm glad people have more rapid weight loss because, boy, it's hard and it's a long grind. So but it's good to remember that it's not going to stay that rapid the whole time for that reason. Yeah. But the good thing is when you get down to, down in the low 200s and below, exercise and things just become actually doable, So you're not in the where you can only like sit in your couch and do something, which, by the way, I never did that. I just didn't exercise. But when I got down definitely below 200, I was out. But even at like 220, 230, that's when I started walking a bit. And then doing more of the like real serious hiking. That was when I was 170 and below. And that's just because of the seasons. I might have started before that, but it was the middle of winter here and hiking wasn't really that possible. So, yeah. And Z, I'm trying to do 1,000 calories a day. Yeah. And so that's the model that I have in the ridiculously big salad. And it seems to be working for, a lot of people. It provides a good amount of nutrition and enough calories you can kind of, get through without feeling too super deprived, and lose weight pretty quickly. So it's kind of a good balance between all of that. And so Dwayne's saying, one meal a day just didn't work for me, a small breakfast and a bigger lunch. Yeah, that's great, Dwayne. So my husband, Sander, he lost 50. He's maybe not quite 50, 45 or something. And he basically did that. He would have, so first of all, you guys, so Dwayne and Sander, they are going to have higher maintenance calorie levels because they're guys, okay? and more muscle mass and all that. And so Sander would have like 3 eggs in the morning, maybe a bit of sausage or something with it. And then he would have, so he'd have that, let's say at 9 a.m. And then noon or so, he would have a salad with me. And that was often what he would eat. He did adopt the one meal a day model for a while because he started seeing the weight loss and then got all excited and really buckled down and was seeing great, even more rapid weight loss with that, of course. But in the end, I said, Sandra, I feel like that isn't really, you don't need to be that aggressive. And that's not a sustainable habit for you. So why don't you really work instead on just creating a habit of like not eating at night and keeping your food in a certain window and just trying to be a little bit more mindful about what you are actually eating. And so that's what he ended up doing, is kind of shaving down some things and keeping the eating in a certain window. And it wasn't, I mean, it's like 8 hours in the end for Sander. And it worked. It worked. And so there we go. It's just, it's these are like dimensions of choice that we have, and we need to find the right one. Yeah. And so your iron got low, and you started having thyroid issues. I've consumed 8 cups of vegetable juicing for my breakfast, and so you do a 1 meal a day. So is that a 4-hour eating window? But it wouldn't be 1 meal a day if you're juicing and then having a meal. I'm not sure what you're doing exactly, but I would just, what I would do, if you've hit a stall, simply do like a food journal for a few days and really look at, calculate everything that you're doing. And like the juicing, that's all about what's in that juice. And so I would calculate that, and I would calculate the meal together. So, and so D is off, and yeah, Dwayne, you hang and then jump into the group and post a photo or something and let everyone gush over you, Dwayne. So, yeah, I feel like there's like a few guys who post in the group, and I think, are they doing this because they get like comments from 3,000 women? So Dwayne, go get gushed on by a bunch of ladies. Yeah. And Berdine, I know you hate the term slow loser, but I am. I lost 20 at first, started in February, can't seem to lose anymore. 1 meal a day just lets me maintain. I've had to do intermittent fasting 48 hours to lose. So, well, and you're swimming, that's awesome. And so, Berdine, are you possibly in the Jumpstart course, or do you have access, and have you found like there's a whole new area back there? And I would get into that if you have access and explore some of those things. Because, there's a lot of little details in this that sometimes it's easy to take for granted or overlook. So let's see. And Bonnie, I need to back off from the big desire to be in the first official Century Club. The protocol works better for me if I can stay in a flow with it. Absolutely. Look, Bonnie. So you know what? If you're coming into the Century Club, you need to come in at the right time for you, because you gotta this the club is gonna stay open, we hope, for a very long time. Okay. And so this is just like the 100, so we got to do something. But then the real question becomes, where are we going from here? And so we'll be talking about all that. And so Bonnie comments on the Dwayne's mustache that I happened to mention in the book. So yeah, Dwayne. Anyway, I love it. I love it. So Bonnie, yeah. Then it is. I'm excited for you, Bonnie. I'm excited for you. I'm excited you're going to be in the Century Club. I'm excited that you're going to be in at the right time. And see, maybe by then we'll be super organized on how we even celebrate the Century Club. I don't know. And then here's a real vision. What if Bonnie, and because someone else is saying this too, like, what if you're at the 130th? What if we end up with so many people in the Century Club that the 130th, you're like, really? You were only 130? Because now there's 73,942. How's that for an idea? Because you guys, what we're doing, it's simple. I mean, it's not easy, right? It's simple. It can be done on food stamps. This is accessible to everybody. It's absolutely accessible to everybody. And so I was just meeting with someone who said, look, this is like, anyway, we're just talking about the point, the no drugs, no products, this is all without like structured coaching or some kind of membership fee or anything that is typically the barrier to, financially to people. And it's very simple. How many people could we reach with this? So anyway, Bonnie, we're ready for you when you're ready. And if it needs to come in the right time for you. Absolutely. Oh, Dwayne, Sandy Britton is me as well. Oh, okay, I get it. Because I got a message from Dwayne saying something about he's Sandy Britton. And I'm like, I don't even get this. Dwayne is in Facebook jail. What did you do, Dwayne? So don't even tell us because I know that we can just imagine, and that's going to be far better because, Facebook. Oh, so did y'all notice I'm here on YouTube? Because I need a lot less Facebook, not more. And it's so glitchy. There's so many things that happen. And the fact that someone just ends up in Facebook jail is one of those things. Though I think we should start rumors, Dwayne, about what you did to get in Facebook jail. Just to give you a little bit of notoriety out there. And you might leverage it. If you're going to be in the jail, just make a story. In fact, put a little story for us here, and we'll help spread the rumor about Dwayne's stay in Facebook jail. Yep. Let's see. And yeah, so Z, just you do a food log. Don't take it for granted because also in terms of the salad and all the stuff that you put in it, count it all. I would count. I know I say I don't count, but if you feel like it is a stall, I would double in. I would count. I would really take a step back on what you're actually eating, and see where it is. Yeah. And Z, your iron levels. Because the salad model should work pretty well for your iron. I'm just trying to think if there's something you might be putting in there that's going to be affecting your iron, because dairy affects iron. But unless you're putting like a just pile of cheese in there, you're probably, or using, if you're really having a serious iron problem, you might want to go dairy free on the salads if you're eating the dairy. So that would be one thing to look at. But otherwise, I would think, and then of course, adding the red meats as the protein toppers would be a good thing for the iron. Yeah. And that's gonna, and hey, welcome, Deborah. Yes, you are late. You're late. You're gonna have to like rewind and listen to the story. And now, Deborah, we've been telling rumors about you here. I hope you don't mind. So lots of stories about you, Deborah, since you've been gone and since you showed up late. And what we need to know now is what you were doing in the last day to engage in your goal. We need to know about that. So of course, we've engaged in lots of speculation about how you did that over the last day while you were late for this video. That's right. And so just scrolling up to see what other comments we have. And I know I'm missing comments. And oh, Latasha, can I show the book? Okay, so there's two books. So this is the Ridiculously Big Salad book. And so and so the Jumpstart book. And I'm imagining as people find this for the first time moving forward, that a lot of people are going to start with this book. And that this is for people who then take this meal approach and are really drilling down with this type of meal approach, the salad approach, because certainly not everybody does. And then in the works is the cooked RBS. Okay, so the RBS is the Ridiculously Big Salad, and a cooked version is in the works, and it's part of, those recipes are part of the digital bundle now. That's not going to be available on its own probably for at least a few months, and I do hope that it ends up soon as a book, but even the digital version of the book is not written yet. So, but that's kind of the plan for all of it, is like, this is the starting point. And then people who want to drill down more into this as a meal approach or into the cooked as a meal approach are going to be options for people. And there is a digital bundle, which there's digital content, so you can find this book is available digitally, and both books are available digitally, and as part of a larger course, which is a video course. And this Jumpstart course in particular, which includes the digital version of this book, is packed with videos. I mean, the value is really huge, you guys. And those are based on, you know, the what's driving success in the group. I mean, that's what those videos are based on. And I would really encourage you, if you're struggling, especially just the jump start is the place to start. But the jump start is then part of the larger digital bundle where all the content is all there together, and you can just buy like the whole thing. So when you look on the website at the products, look at the different combinations, because there's even like these two books you could order together as a combination. So there's all the combinations, and I hope it doesn't drive you crazy. So look around and explore and see what the options are. Yeah. Yeah. So we're all excited about Nancy. So Nancy got started on the 3-day challenge. It's the beginning of great things, Nancy. That is awesome. And the 3-day challenge is on the website, and it is a really simple little 3-day thing where you print up the shopping list and implement a really simple approach to eating for 3 days. And it really gives you a good sense about whether this is going to work for you. And so it's like, try it on for size kind of thing. Or some people really diligently implement the 3-day plan, and, like total pros, and that's their intent. Like, I want to do it exactly right. And so there's that approach. And there's also the just kind of, hey, I'm going to kind of slop through it and just kind of get exposed to it to start getting my head wrapped around it. And, and that works too in terms of if that's your process, and then gearing up and kind of transitioning in or whatever else. So however it is but the whole purpose is to show you what it is, the food model itself, that's working in this community. And so, Paulina, it's going into cooler weather. Yeah, because like we're all excited about spring, and you're like in the fall. And you're really looking forward to the cooked RBS book. Will it be available digitally because shipping? Yeah, is so. Okay, so in terms of the cooked RBS, definitely will be. So once the book exists as a digital book, then that's when it will be available to buy separately. And in terms of the print book, the print version of the cooked RBS book, I have no idea. Well, as soon as we get it actually in digital, then we can look at production for print. But you're right in terms of the shipping to, it looks like, shipping to Canada is even not super straightforward. But I'll tell you what, the bureaucratic aspect of shipping to the rest of the world, besides Canada, is really kind of scary. And I don't know that we're going to be able to offer that. So I'm kind of hoping that if we can ever get on Amazon, come on, everyone can get onto Amazon except us, that Amazon does do some distribution to other countries, and just generally will look like for a distributor, but I wouldn't wait for that. I wouldn't wait. So the digital is coming. And so then you just, it'll be print friendly. Just Control P, send it to your printer and print it. And that's going to be the best strategy. Yeah. And Nancy, well, you are in the right place, Nancy, with 160 pounds to lose. That is awesome. And I'm very happy for you, Nancy. What a major life change it will be we have we got experts in the group on that. Nancy, we're here for you. We're ready. So now I've only lost 140. Okay. In fact, we have a subgroup in the community if you haven't found it, and it's called Ursa Major, and it's for people who've started over 300 pounds. And that is a very nice little subgroup, and really great to have, people who get it and can help you out. So find that group if you haven't. So the Eat Like a Bear Stories group is the main group in Facebook, and then we have a lot of we call them subgroups, but they're just other Facebook groups. And if you're a member in the main group, you'll be auto approved for those little groups, and we have, boy, we have a bunch of them. We have so Ursa Major. We have a Ursa Minor in the works, which is people who are like grinding off the last 30 or 40 or something like that. I need to start that. We have a crafters group. We have Bare Threads, which is about fashion or even some clothing exchange themes in there. An exercise group called Shake Like a Bear. A Silver Bears for older over 65. Um, a Young Mama Bears. Oh, we have the Grizzlies. Dwayne's and the Grizzlies, and that's for the men. Yeah, it's like the main group has 86,000 people, and the Grizzlies has like 75 people. So we need more men in there. But sometimes women join. Like, come on, you guys. Come on. Anyway, um, okay. Find the groups. Oh, there's a bariatric bears group too. So yeah, a veggie bears for vegetarian and vegan. And find the subgroups. I think they're pinned in the top of the group. You could always search at the top of the group, and you should be able to find some of the posts that talk about the subgroups. Yeah. And even actually just searching in Facebook for Eat Like a Bear groups. And I wonder, I'm not sure, I haven't done that. Yeah. Deborah is enjoying the Silver Bears group. Yeah, it's a very nice community. So I love the little groups. The big group has gotten so big, it's hard to even recognize people in there. And so I love the little groups, and it's just an easier way to really get to know people. Yeah. And oh, hey, Debbie from Southern California. I need to weigh and measure everything so I get enough. If I eyeball it, it's too little. Yeah, you know what, Debbie, do what you need to do. So I have the opposite problem. So I could eat really giant mountains of food and calories if I'm not kind of watching it. So, okay. Okay, Jackie says if you're in the main group, click on the About page instead of the discussion, and there's a list. Okay, cool. Okay. And Anna is starting on Monday. Well, awesome, Anna. And I'm glad you're here joining us in these daily lives and jumping into our whole origin story. Because, I mean, we're only 3 years old. Actually, less than. And so, but we're, the beginning is something big, let's say. And maybe completely disrupting the entire weight loss industry, which frankly needed to happen. Just who knew that, who knew I'd ever even lose a pound versus be here? Okay. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So, do you have other questions? If not, I am going to go, I don't know, sit in the sun for a few minutes and just take in some sunshine. Bonnie is on the Central Coast and says, I love buying of California. I love buying at the fresh fish market and farmers markets. Oh, because I can afford it on one meal a day. Exactly, because that's the nice thing about if it's one meal, you can kind of level up that meal a little bit because it's just one. I definitely spent more money before on food. And so it's kind of nice to be able, if I choose to buy something that's a little like level up that ingredient a little bit. But it's also kind of nice not to worry about it if I'm out of cash or, on the road and don't have access, if I'm not on the Central Coast at a fish market. Bonnie, where are you? Because that sounds awesome. I kind of almost want to drive there and get some fish. So that's awesome. So Glennis, when I'm talking about groups, yeah, the community is in Facebook. And that's the main part of the community here right now is in Facebook. Bless our hearts, may we survive over there. Facebook, is Facebook. It's glitchy, it's problematic. There's so much that happens that we don't have any control over, and we really try not to go crazy with that. But that said, there's a huge amount of fire right there in that group, right there. So if you're starting, do put in a request. And if you have any issues, you can always email support@eatlikeabear.com and get any help that you might need. And yeah, I would definitely get in there and just it's really helps seeing all the stories. That's what's going to really help keep you focused, and yeah, focused on your future. Let's see, Glennis, I'm at 82. I'm 82 and I lost 30 pounds. Just lost. See these little comments disappear on me. Lost 30 pounds, but only have 50 to lose. Okay, so you have another 20. Well, okay, Glennis, awesome. Well, congratulations, and you're 82, and I love it, Glennis. We have a number of ladies. I don't know, you might be one of the younger ones. So okay, that's awesome. That's awesome, Glennis. Um, and we've got we really do also do kind of like attracting an older crowd like Glennis. And I'm really happy about that. We need more. We need to work on that more as I see it. That's the weight, the big, this is something in terms of disrupting the weight loss industry. The most of the other platforms, maybe all of them, kind of give up on you when you're over 50 in particular. I don't even know over 80 if you're on their radar at all. Probably not. Probably not. Um, and so, you know, why is that? So we could talk about that forever. But we can focus also on just staying focused on our goals and how we're gonna, you know, how we're gonna meet those. So let's see. Janice saying, yeah, the stories in the group keep Janice encouraged. And Janice is 59, have lost 30 pounds towards your 60-pound goal. Awesome, Janice. That's awesome. Glennis, I also started my two daughters. Okay, Glennis. Well, so are you saying, Glennis, that you started and you got your daughters to start? Uh, so that's maybe one of my favorite stories because I was telling someone about a lady in Tennessee who started in August. And she started because based on this in this article, there's one little salad recipe in here, and she ate the same salad that's in Woman's World for 2 weeks, and then got really bored, and then got the book, and she sent me a handwritten letter, and I sometimes have it in these when I show it because it's like actual, like on paper in cursive. And luckily, I can read cursive because I'm not 20. I'm not 20 years old. And she described, I think it was 6 people in her family that started doing it based on her story. And that's what this is all about. And I think the thing of it is, if you think about families, and if, in her case, Janetta in Tennessee or Glennis starts it and has success, I mean, in the unexpected demographic to have success in weight loss, who can deny that it's going to work for them when they're 25 or whatever? And so the trickle down effect in the family, it's powerful. And so I look at this and I say, if we're going to have a maximum impact, we need Glennis, we need Janetta in Tennessee, because that's where that impact happens. So that's something. That's really something. So I am happy to have you here, Glennis. I'm happy to have you. So we need all your friends. So, and just yeah. We're doing a story with KGET in Bakersfield, the NBC affiliate, on Monday. We're shooting that on Monday. And it's about a little chain of success cases that we have here locally. And we should do something on, Janetta in Tennessee too, because it's that same thing. Like, she was a seed of having that impact in her circle. And that is what's happening all over. Do I have my graph? Because I've shown you and I've promised to put it on the website and I still haven't, because each day I just end up with other things and I end up, I don't know, tired. I don't see my paper. Remember the paper? And it shows the whole distribution of of bears across the United States, because that was the software that I had too, was just the United States. I don't see it. Okay, next time. I'll get it on the website. I'll go now and I'll do it. And you see the spread, and that's where it's happening in people's neighborhoods and all that. So it's exciting. Exciting. So let's see. How do you plan meals around children? I find myself sneaking their snacks. I used to not buy snacks because of this reason. Yeah, so Latasha, so in terms of the meals, so like with my salad model, the protein that I might put on my salad, I might make a meal for them with that same protein topper. You can, like for instance, oh, well, like the taco salad is an obvious example of you'd have like sort of all the taco stuff out, but you would have the salad version and they would have the tacos. Or like an Asian type of salad, you could put chicken that was seasoned on noodles for them. So there's always kind of a variation you can do if they don't eat like the salad or all the vegetables that you might be eating. And in terms of the snacks and eating their snacks, so that's just going to have to be a boundary that you need to draw. And one of the things that you can do is prepare their stuff and have their snacks maybe ready or set out in a time when you're eating your meal, so you're like less prone to snack yourself, and you can kind of draw that boundary a little bit easier. So I would look around at how you're organizing all that in like time and space, and try to be more strategic about it. And then challenge yourself to make the decisions you need for your long-term goals, because ultimately it's you proving it to yourself, and you're going to have to get in your head on that. And that's just, I mean, that's the good news and the bad news, right? Is that the good news is you're in charge, and that's also the bad news, because I know we all would love just to have that solution just like right there. I'd pay a lot for it. But have to work on it actually being up here, because that's pretty much the only place. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, happy Mother's Day to you guys too. And Janice just got the book. Awesome, Janice. Well, super duper, you guys. And so Paulina says, I think you don't get too many questions because the framework is simple. It is simple. Yeah, thank you, Paulina. And so I will see you guys tomorrow. And Bonnie is in Morro Bay. And so, right, Bonnie, with the emails, you've been inviting me over. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. So see, I didn't recognize you here in YouTube. And, but yeah, so Morro Bay, that's awesome. Patricia lost 9 pounds with the 3-day challenge. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. I am gonna I'm gonna hang up now. That's what I was about to say. I'm gonna hang up now. No, I'm not old. Okay, I'm glad y'all understood what I just said, because I know you did. My kids wouldn't. Okay, and Sherry. Okay, we're coming to Tennessee, Sherry. Gonna do it. And oh, and Dwayne wants to head back to Tennessee. Yeah, Dwayne. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to see you tomorrow. It's great talking to you here today. So today we got through how we got the group, the story about how we got the group started, and I pitched the doctor because he's going to lead this whole thing. And tomorrow I will talk about that drive across the country and how that drive ended up as with the video, a postcard from Yellowstone, and a little doctor update in there too. And that's tomorrow is Saturday. Okay, and then Sunday, a little continuation of that. Monday, I'm not really sure what's in store for us, because there should be at least a quick live, but that's the day we meet with the reporter. So we could end up a little bit frazzled. I don't know, but maybe that's what we'll do. Hey, here we are live, a little bit frazzled because we're about to be interviewed and we don't know what we're doing. Something like that. Okay, I don't know. And then Tuesday, more about the direction of the community, more on the backstory, but how I established the goals for this community, how I structure my time, and the revenue goals. And we'll talk, so then we'll kind of transition into more of the mission, the vision, and the revenue vision, and like how we're managing all that, how we're keeping the lights on, all that. Okay, and so the direction for all of that. And that's where we're going with this as we tappity tap tap wait for our 100th century case, which I don't know, sometimes it feels like, oh my god, that could be like 3 days from now, but I don't know, we'll see, we'll just see. So just keep talking, just keep waiting, waiting for you all to weigh. Okay, you guys, well, you take care, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Come back with your stories and your reports and your goals. um, Dwayne, I hope you get out of jail soon. um, and maybe if we could break you out, we could, but instead we'll just start the rumors, you know, leading to your notoriety. That's the best we can do. And let's see. And Sherry, you guys are talking about Jackson? Yeah, we need to meet up in Jackson. How wouldn't that be something? Okay. See, now I'm all curious. Let's just sit here and talk about Jackson. Okay. Okay. You guys take care. And oh, Nancy's in Arroyo Grande. Oh, seriously, Nancy? Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, we do have a little Central Coast cluster, so I'll have to look at the map. I'm going to put up on the website soon. Okay. Okay, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. See if I can stop this.